What's good, everybody? Rhetorical question, life. My name is Heavy Bree, and welcome to my channel. And today, I'm reporting to you guys live from the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, that's right. I'm in Washington State, home of big trees and beautiful lakes, where the air quality is great. I had another rhyme, but I forgot what it was, so we'll just keep on going because today I'm not here to rap for you guys. I'm here to talk to you guys about maximizing your CDL. Yeah, you read the description. Today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about maximizing the potential of your CDL. Because when you have a CDL, if you're a person who has a CDL, or if you're planning on getting a CDL, just understand that you have one of the most valuable documents that you can have for your career. You have one of the most valuable documents you can have for your career. And the more you maximize this document, the better job opportunities you will have and better career opportunities you will have when it comes to being in this field of work. And today, I want to share with you guys, some of you who, whether you have your CDL or you've had your CDL a while, because anybody can benefit from this information. I don't see how anybody can't benefit from this information, so I want to share it with you guys so you guys can use it. Before we continue on, please like the video, leave a comment. If you also have some information that you could add on to this video to help out anybody else out there who wants to be a trucker or who is a trucker. If you have some information yourself, please leave a comment down below, or if you just want to leave a comment, just leave it down below. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate every single last one of you. Everyone who commented and watched the last video. I want to thank all of you guys for liking the video and commenting and just giving my videos a look. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do, the first way to maximize the potential of your CDL is you must have no restrictions on your CDL. And restrictions aren't like violations or tickets or anything, but we'll get into that later. Restrictions are when you get your CDL, you're either going to get trained and take your test in either an automatic transmission or a manual transmission. If you take your test, your behind the wheels test, and get trained in a manual transmission, your CDL is just a regular CDL. That means you can drive any truck. You can drive a manual, you can drive an automatic, and you can pretty much drive any trucks. Those W900 Kenworths, you can drive one of those. Those big body Peterbilts, you can drive one of those. Any truck with a stick shift and that has a clutch, you can drive if you got trained in a manual transmission. However, if you're like me, when I first came on and you got trained in an automatic transmission, you will have a restriction on your license that only allows you to work at companies or to drive trucks that only have automatic transmissions, and you're not allowed to drive manual transmissions. I can drive a manual transmission, but I didn't get trained in a manual semi-truck. So now I have a restriction on my license, and when I go back home, whenever I go back home, the plan is to I've already saved some money up, so the plan is to go back home and get that removed off my license. So eventually, when I do decide to get my truck, which is going to be a Kenworth W900, when I eventually get that truck, which has manual, which has a stick shift and all that, and the clutch, when I eventually get that, I'll be able to drive that without any problems and everything. Because eventually, that's the truck that I want to get. Some people want to buy a house. I want to buy a semi truck. I would like to buy houses one day, but we'll get into all that later. So to avoid getting no restrictions on your license, if you are brand new, before you go to a truck driving school or go through a company that will train you and pay for your schooling, make sure that you ask them, hey, is the school you guys go through, do they use manuals or do they train you in automatics? If the company says, and if that company or the people you talk to say they don't know, or we think so, or they just if they don't train, if the company does not train you in a manual transmission, don't go to that company. Because if you don't, unless you're just trying to get in a truck driving because you only plan on doing it for 5 years, then yeah, go ahead and go for it. Just go get trained in automatic. But if you want to make this a long career, and you want to eventually start driving like, you know, the Peterbilts and the Kenworths and the nice and like the Western Stars and all those trucks with the manual transmissions, don't get a restriction on your license. Get trained in a manual transmission. And there's plenty of schools that will train you, that have manual transmissions, that will train you in a manual, and you know, like, you won't have to go through all that. Have to go through what I have to go through. So yeah, don't have any restrictions on your CDL. The second thing you want to do when it comes to getting your maximizing your CDL is have endorsements on your license. Now, the endorsements are the things that you put on your license, on your CDL, that allow you to operate trailer, like triple and double trailer, double and triple trailers, those trailers with more than one trailer, to haul more than one trailer at a time. So that means you know those trucks you see on the road hauling 2 trailers at once. That's triple. That truck driver has a doubles and triples endorsement on their license, a T endorsement. And if you're dealing with, sorry, I had to kill this fly. And if you want to drive tanks, if you want to drive tankers or do any kind of hazmat hauling, you're going to need an X endorsement. The X endorsement allows you to drive tanks and hazardous material vehicles. So, and you can get all that from, now the hazmat endorsement, you can get that by going through the TSA's website and following the instructions on there, and paying the applicable fees. And then you have to take an ELDT. The ELDTs are courses that are reported to the DOT and the FMSCA. I hope I'm saying this right, FMSCA or FMCSA, whatever. Anyway, so the ELDTs report that, hey, this person took the course, got the training done, and they're good to go when it comes to taking their test at the DMV. So what happens is, for the hazmat, you're going to need to go through the TSA website, and then you also, after you fill out the applicable forms, and you're eligible. By the way, if you have any convictions, then the hazmat one is going to be kind of rough, because they only allow you to have, if you've had any convictions within the last, I think, 7 or 10 years, then it's going to be difficult for you to get it. If you have no convictions and you ain't on parole or nothing, you're good to go. But yeah, hazmat. So yeah, like you get the hazmat endorsement from going to TSA's website, paying the applicable fees. Then you take an ELDT for hazmat and tanker, for hazmat and tanker. And then once you pass the ELDTs, and the ELDTs, some of them cost like $16, some of them cost $30, but you should never pay over $30 for the ELDTs. They have some on there that are $60, but don't pay for those. Like the $30 one should be enough. The $30 one should last you a whole year. Like the material on there should last you a whole year, so you can go on there, and it gives you 1 month to finish it. But the material on there, the bonus material on there, like the practice test and everything, will be good for a whole year. So one of the ones you can go to is drivingtest.org. Drivingtest.org has ELDTs for people trying to get their CDL license. So you can go on there. They have one for $30. The material will last you for about a whole year, but the course is for 1 month. The time to complete the course is 1 month, but the material the practice test and all of the other stuff will last you a whole year. Don't pay for the more expensive one, the lifetime warranty or the special extra bells and whistles one, because those are just a waste of money. Just pay for the one that's $30. It'll last you a whole year, and it'll give you 1 month to complete the thing. If you pay for the $16 one, it'll just give you a week to finish the ELDT. And let me tell you right now, you can get the ELDT done in less than a week. You can get it done. You can get the ELDT done in less than a day. You don't even got you ain't got to sit through the whole course. Like, you literally can just have it on in the background while you're doing stuff and everything. And let me tell you right now, the material for the hazmat endorsement is really easy to understand and comprehend if you just pay attention. If you just pay attention and just sit through the 4 hours I mean, you don't even gotta watch everything on there. Just take the practice test, and if you pass all the practice tests for the hazmat ELDT, you will pretty much ace the hazmat test when you go take the DMV. Oh yeah, that's right. After you pass the ELDTs, you can go to, and you're only taking ELDT for the hazmat and tanker, So, the hazmat one is for tanker and hazmat. It's all one ELDT. So don't pay for more than one ELDT. Just take the hazmat one. It should satisfy all the requirements for tanker and hazmat material. You go down to your DMV. You take the test for your triples, doubles, and for triples and doubles, and for your hazmat. And if you want to, you can take an ELDT for passenger. I don't have a passenger endorsement on my license. I have all the other endorsements. I just don't have passenger because I don't plan on doing public transportation. That's just personal preference. But if you want to, you can also get an endorsement for passenger, so that way you can work in public transportation, Greyhound, Metro, the Metro in your city, driving school buses, driving kids around and everything. I don't want to deal with all that because like I remember what it was like when I was riding the bus, and those kids were savages. And if they're anything like what we used to be, like I believe in karma. So like I was one of those kids, throwing stuff out the windows and everything when I was riding the bus. So I believe in karma. So I don't want to deal with none of that. So yeah, so get your endorsements. All your endorsements if you want to, or just get the ones that are applicable to your endeavors in this business. The next thing you want to do to maximize your CDL is when you first go to your very first job, you want to spend 1 year at that company. The more time you have experience, the more experience you have under your belt, the more time you've had at one job, the more hireable you are when it comes to leaving that job. Now, if you go the company route of getting your CDL, you will have to pay back that money for the training and everything. You have to pay it back because they'll make you pay it back. So they'll make you work a whole year. They'll deduct it. They'll either deduct it out of your check, or what you can do is, what I did was I just paid off I just used my check and just threw all the money at the first month or two. I just threw money at the whatever I owed for the CDL school with that company, and I had it paid off within like a month, about a month and a half. That's what I was doing. Like I was taking $500 like a week, because at the time I didn't have anywhere to stay. I was sleeping on couches, so I didn't have any rent or any bills or any major bills to pay. So I was just throwing money. Take half my check, and I'll put it towards like whatever I owed the truck driving school that my first job contracted with for getting people's CDLs. So if you try to leave the school or try to leave the company that you got your CDL through within a year, and you haven't paid back whatever you owe the school that the company works with, then they will put it on your credit. They'll put it on your credit report, and it can hurt your credit score, and it can make it hard for you to buy a house or like start your own business and everything. If you plan on doing those things, it can hurt your credit score. I don't know about y'all. My credit score is spotless. I have a really good credit score. I ain't trying to mess mine up. So like when you're working with the company that you're with, but you don't gotta stay with the company you're with for a whole year. But I say you should. Because when it comes time to leave them and go work somewhere else, you have 12 months of experience with that one company. Because like one of the biggest trends in trucking is that some people will stay with their companies for about 3 months, 6 months, less than a year, and then they'll just jump ship and go somewhere else that pays more money. And which is very possible. There are companies that will pay more than the company you're with, who, if you have any type of if you have 3 months of experience, 6 months of experience, like 7 months of experience, you have like 6 months or at least 6 months of experience, they will take you on, and they will come and they will hire you. There's a lot of companies that will do that. I know a few, and I'll make a video about those companies later. But for right now, we're talking about maximizing your CDL. So yeah, like I was saying, get your get your CDL. Wait, sorry about that. So I saw like I think I saw like a cat. It just caught, the cat just caught a. Sorry, y'all, my ADHD is all over the place. Like I just saw a cat catch a bird in midair. Like it was a little bird. The cat just hopped out. Like I'm in this little field over here outside of the receiver. I saw there was a bird flying by, and there's this tall grass, and the bird just jumped out of the cat jumped out of the grass and caught the bird. I'm like, what? I mean, what in the Discovery Channel did I just see? Oh man, like you only see stuff like that on nature documentaries, man. But here I am watching it right now, man. Like up here in the Northwest, man, there's all kinds of beautiful nature up here, man. You see like birds and deer and the occasional wolverine and stuff like that. But yeah, no, so yeah, spend 1 year at your job. Do 1 year at your job, and or like do 6 months and pay off the school that you got, pay off your school, your CDL school stuff, like as soon as possible, and then as soon as it's paid off, then leave. Or we'll save some money, save some money, pay off your trucking school fees, and then leave, because you want to have at least enough money to cover your bills as you're going through the transition period into another job. You know, because before I left any job that I used to work with, before I left any job, I always made sure I had at least $2,000 like saved up, you know, like for emergencies and everything, you know, to cover some bills and also to cover like basic expenses. I always make sure I have $2,000. I always make sure I have $2,000. Well, actually, I had a little bit more than $2,000, but I try to make sure I had at least $2,000 before I left a company to go to a better company. So, yeah. So make sure you spend a year. So get that year of experience, or just make sure you have some money before you leave your next job. The next thing you want to do to maximize your CDL's potential is to avoid getting tickets. It's easier said than done. I've seen people get pulled over by DOT for just going depending on what time of the month it is and depending on what state you're in. I've seen guys flying down the highway at 70 miles per hour, and DOT doesn't bat an eye. Like DOT and the troopers don't bat an eye. And I've seen some places where a guy's going like 3 miles over the speed limit. It's 55 miles an hour, and there's it's a construction zone, or it's just and nobody's working in the construction zone, and the person's going 58 or 60 miles per hour, and and then the troopers just light them up. So yeah, just that's an easy one. Just don't get tickets. All right, do this when you get into this field. Don't speed. Don't violate your hours of service. Don't drive more than don't go over your clock. We're allowed to work 14 hours in a day, and we're only allowed to drive 11 of those hours. If you've driven more than 11 hours for the day, then that's a violation. And if DOT pulls you over and they see it, then you'll get a ticket. Just don't get a ticket. Avoid tickets. All right, just do. It's really easy. It's easy to get caught if you have a hard time. If you're an impatient person, then yeah, it can be hard. But all you have to do is have a little bit of patience. Don't speed. Run your clock properly, and yeah, man, just don't get a ticket. Just don't get a ticket. Like scales, or you're going through scales. As soon as you get loaded up, as soon as you get loaded up, and the trailer is fully loaded. If your truck's trailer is fully loaded, get a scale ticket. Even if it's not fully loaded, get a scale ticket. Because they'll say oh yeah, it's good. It's only about some pounds, and then the trailer's not full, but it's not like the weight they said it was. And sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Always get a scale ticket. So get a scale ticket, and your company should be able to reimburse you for scale tickets. And they'll either have a program where they'll pay for the ticket, or they'll reimburse you for the skill ticket, you know, and most skill tickets are like $15. It's not a lot of money. It's not gonna break your pockets getting a skill ticket. Better you pay $15 for a skill ticket, so that way when you go through the scales, you don't mess around and find out you're overweight, and then next thing you know, like you gotta pay a $300 ticket, and it goes on your record. So yeah, just avoid getting, like, you know, tickets and violations on your CDL. And the final thing that you can do to maximize your CDL is educate yourself while you're out here on the road. For some of y'all, look, anybody can become a truck driver, but not everybody should be a truck driver. There are people who have been doing this for years. They're good at the job, they know how to do the job, but, you know, like, some of them aren't happy. You can tell by their behavior, by how they drive, by just their attitude. Like, there's a lot of people out here, a lot of sad people out here who've been doing this job probably like 20 years, and when they should have just been, like, you know, learning a skill that would actually that's more preferable to their temperament. But yeah, man, like, I mean, I've been doing this job for 2 years now. But, you know, like, I don't have any problem with it. I love it. You know, I love being out here on the road. I love driving. I love, like, you know, just the freedom of being a truck driver. I love the freedom. I like not having a supervisor, and just being able to, like, the whole operation is based on me. It's based on me getting the job done. I like doing that. I like working alone, and, like, so I don't have any problems with this job. But, like I said, this job is not for everybody. This job is not for everybody. Anybody can become a truck driver. And if you're in debt and you want to get out of debt and you want to pay off your debts and everything, and, you know, get your money stacked up and everything, trucking is a good avenue to go. You know, especially if you're young and you don't have anything, you don't have any bills and you don't have any debts, and you're just trying to, like, just stack up some money and figure things out, and you're trying to get out of your hometown because your hometown's kind of crazy. Like, for the people who are from where I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, but like this job is not for everybody. So while you're out here, you should educate yourself. You know, take courses on Coursera, use Khan Academy to learn new skills. Like, I use Duolingo to learn new languages and everything. I started learning to know Spanish because, like, I'm from Cali, and most of California is, like, you know, is Hispanic. Most of Southern California is Hispanic, so I try to, like, learn Spanish and, like, learn Portuguese and everything. So yeah, like, educate yourself while you're out here. Because you're on the road for 10 hours a day. You're on the road for 10 hours a day driving. So you might as well, during that time, use that time to educate yourself. Like, take courses or learn new stuff. Like, you know, you can get Audible, and, like, but this video is not sponsored by Audible, but Audible is cool. Audible is, like, it's something that you want, because, you know, you can read, but you can listen to books. If you're not a big reader, but you always wanted to get into book reading, but you don't have time to read, then, you know, just get Audible. You can listen to books and all that and everything. Like, I go through at least 3 or 4 books, like, a week, you know, like, listening to Audible, because, like, most of the books I read or listen to are all, like, autobiographies by like celebrities and musicians that I like, and then in the occasional educational book. I listen to an educational book. I'll probably do like 3 hours listening to an educational book, then the rest of that time listen to, like, you know, like Matthew Perry's, like, autobiography or something. So yeah, like, you can listen to books, take courses, listen to things, like, bro, and then, like, in your off time, you can, like, watch videos, or, you know, if you have, like, oh, by the way, if anybody's ex-military, if you're ex-military and you haven't used your GI Bill, you can do your online courses while you're out here on the road. So if you don't want to go work some job that, you know, like, oh, I was in the military for this, and the only jobs that are available for me is that, but I don't want to go do that because I didn't like that. Then you want to go to school, and you don't want to go in person, and you want to make some money at the same time. You can take online courses out here while you're on the road. I was looking into doing that myself, but at the time I couldn't, like, decide what major I wanted. I'm still deciding on what major I want to take. I'm not even 100% sure if I'm gonna like, you know, take the online courses, because I have other endeavors and other things that I'm focusing on. But yeah, like, If you're ex-military and you have your GI Bill and you want to take like online course, if you want to get into truck driving, you can take your online courses while you're out here on the road. As long as you have a good internet connection, as long as you have good internet access, and you have a laptop or something like that, then you can like when on your downtime, you can stop at a truck stop, hook up to the Wi-Fi, and take your online courses once you shut down for the day. You use that hour or two, out of your 10-hour reset, to get your degree. You can do that. But yeah, education. That's another reason why you can maximize the potential of your CDL, because and then you can also, if you got your CDL and you didn't get your endorsements while you're out here on the road, you can study for your endorsements. You can take like practice tests. You can take the ELDTs while you're out here on the road. You can learn new stuff about the business, like learn about like you can also, whenever you got time, if you're not too shy, like me, I'm socially selective, but like if I see somebody who knows more than me at these truck stops, who's doing a type of trucking that I want to get into, then I go talk to them. The heavy haul guys, I go talk to all of them. The special transport guys, I go talk to all of them, and I get information. I pick their brains on what I need to know in order to get into that type of business and everything. So, because eventually I want to do like heavy hauling. So yeah, like just like you can go talk to people and ask them for like, hey, how do I get into this company? Or how do I drive for Walmart? How do I drive for TVA Logistics? How do I drive for ShipX? How do I drive for this company for Giltner? How do I drive for this company over here? What do I gotta do? Ask questions. Educate yourself. Don't be shy. Remember, closed mouths and closed minds don't get fed. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know if you guys, I have a question for you guys. Do you guys want me to make these videos shorter and to the point, or are you guys cool with the length of the videos, or do you want the videos to be longer so I can go into more detail, or do you want me to just make the videos short and sweet? I know we live in the age of TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram stories. Like everybody's pretty much just geared towards watching videos that are like 2 minutes or less. But if you guys want to see more, let me know what you guys want, and I'll accommodate you guys. Like I can make these videos shorter if you want me to, and just get straight to the point, or like do you want them, or is it cool how it is? Just let me know. Appreciate every single last one of y'all. Thank you guys all for watching. Happy Friday Eve. We've made it. The weekend is here. Yo, like have some fun. Be safe. And thank you all for watching. Please leave a comment if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the information that I put out and the stuff that I talk about and everything. You can subscribe, hit the bell notification, so that way you can get like a notification every time I post a new video. And leave a comment down below. And the question for the day is, how are you maximizing your career? Because like I said, you don't have to just become a truck driver. Truck driving is not, like I said, anybody can be a truck driver, but not everybody should be a truck driver. So my question to you is, how are you maximizing your career? If you have a job, if you're in a specific career field, like how are you maximizing that career? Like if you're working in the dental field and you're a hygienist, why don't you go become a dentist? If you're a nurse's aide, if you're in the medical field, you're a nurse's aide, why not go become a nurse? If you work in the tech field and you're just you're working help desk, or you're working with just basic customer service, why not try and become a system administrator or something? Or if you're in the military and you're enlisted, what's stopping you from becoming an officer? Or if you work in the airlines, what's stopping you from becoming a pilot? I mean, I know there's there's money and school and time and everything, but yeah, man, if you're gonna work there, look here, if you're gonna work anywhere for more than 5 years, or if you're gonna work anywhere in a certain career field, maximize your potential, man. Try and get to that next level, okay? I don't know about y'all, but like, I'm the kind of person who doesn't like stagnation. I cannot, like, I was stagnant in my last career for 10 years, you know? I was stagnant and I didn't go for it, and I never want to do that again. Like I said, right now I'm a company driver, but in a few years I want to be an owner operator. I want to have my own truck in a few years. So like, because like being a company driver, I mean it's safe. It's safe. You get a retirement bonuses and all that stuff like that. But like I want to be my own boss. All right, that's what I want to do. So. And not everybody has to do, and not everybody wants that, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But if you've been working your job or in a career field for more than 5 years and you aren't happy where you're at, just level up, man. Either get out of that field and go after something that you really want to do. Don't be afraid. Go after something that you really want to do, or just level up or take your job a lot more seriously and level up and everything. Remember, time is the most precious thing we have on this earth, and we can't waste it by neglecting our potential. And we all have the potential to be better than what we are. But you don't be that person who spent 30 years and you never pulled the trigger, and the next thing you know, you retire and you never got to that level of what your potential was. But yeah, that's all the time I got for today, y'all. Peace and blessings. Have a prosperous day.